All right, happy Saturday, profitable community. Say hello. Let me know you guys can hear me and you can see my screen. Really, really excited to be here with you guys on a Saturday. How cool. Say hi if you are a replayer. Don't be shy. Say hello. We want to know our replayers as well. I wanted to pop in with a Saturday special, guys, today. I wanted to walk you through simplifying the scale method, which is a method that I have created over 20 years. It is a method I am using inside of my signature flagship program, The Profitable Entrepreneur, with my clients. It is a method I truly, deeply, very consistently believe in, and I'm just really, really excited to bring it to you guys and share it with you today as well. So I want to go ahead and get started. I want to walk you guys through this system. I want to teach it to you. I want to answer any questions that you have as well. So feel free to pop any questions. I have the box open. I can see any questions that come in while we're live, as well as I'll pop in after for any replay viewers that have questions as well. I know a lot of you are new here, so welcome, guys. My name is Ann Keeney. I'm your host today. I am the host here in the Profitable Entrepreneur community. I am the CEO of Ann Keeney Coaching. I'm also the host of the Profitable Entrepreneur podcast. So I'm really, really excited, guys, to walk you through this. Welcome to the community. I know a lot of you in your entry questions and in conversations with myself and my team are really wondering, Ann, how can we scale my business? How can I make sales a little more simple? How can I make reaching my goals a little bit easier, a little bit faster, and make all of this process feel really good at the same time? I am here to literally walk you through my 5-step simplify the scale method that's going to teach you exactly that. So this is something you want to tune into. Okay, guys, so this here, what you're looking at is my simplify the scale method. It's comprised of 5 key core areas, and we're going to cover all 5 of these very quickly today. Content, positioning, your price, your transformation, the invitation. I'm going to walk you guys through these things. This is going to be powerful. Okay, so when it comes to scaling, guys, you simply need to pivot in order to attract premium clients. I know a lot of you here that are coming into the group have been asking, you know, how do I attract a premium client? How can I simplify my scale a little bit easier? You know, what do I need to do to start attracting clients who can and are willing to pay for my programs? And I'm going to walk you through that, guys. My simplify your scale method is 5 steps to help you do this. So that's why we're here on this Saturday with a special training for you guys to walk you through that. Grab pen and paper, take a lot of notes, guys. This is going to be super good. It's going to answer those questions you have, okay? So we want to talk about what you want to do to simplify your scale and also be attracting premium clients, because in order to scale, you're going to need premium clients, meaning you're going to need clients that invest.
right? In order for you to make more money, to make a bigger impact, and to scale your sales, you're going to need clients who are not only willing, but able to invest. So you need to be speaking and attracting premium clients, right? And usually it doesn't mean you have to do anything new that you're not already doing. Doesn't usually mean you have to create a bunch of new stuff. It usually means you need to pivot. You need to make some simple shifts that will allow you to start to scale and allow you to attract premium clients. Okay, so for those of you that are like, oh boy, it sounds like I'm gonna have to change a lot of things, you probably don't. It's probably some small, simple little shifts and some easy pivots that we can be making with what you're already doing that's totally gonna make this happen for you. So let's go ahead and talk about my Simplify the Scale method. And I want you to stay to the end because I'm going to give you 5 actionable steps. After I go through these 5 steps with you, I'm going to give you 5 things to go off and start to do in order for you to start simplifying your scale, speaking to and attracting premium clients that can and will invest in your services and programs, okay? So at the end of this, I'm going to give you 5 steps. I'm going to want you to write them down. I'm going to want you to go do them and then post any questions in the group so that my team and I can support you with some additional resources, some feedback, answer any questions you have and so forth. So step number 1, guys, in order to simplify the scale, we're going to start with your content. Your content is the first point of contact, right? We work in an online space, which means we're constantly pumping out content online for people to see, to try to attract them in and get them in and bring them into our space, right? So your first point of contact is your content. It's the first thing that people see. So what you are saying in that content, what you're doing in that content, and how often you're putting that content out and where you're putting that content out is going to dictate your scale, okay? So the first step to simplifying your scale is going to be your content, first and foremost. So here's what you want to be doing. You want consistent content that converts, okay? Now, I do want to say this as well, a little caveat here. This does not mean creating more content. I did not say create more content. I just said create consistent content that converts, right? So I don't want you guys thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to create a lot of content. You don't need to create a lot. So the first thing with consistent content, guys, is gonna be that you should have a few pieces of core content that go out consistently each week across your social platforms. Okay, so we're looking for core pieces of content that you're going to continue to reuse, recycle, reshuffle, repurpose across your social platforms. This means that you can take one piece of content and do 100 different things with it. So most definitely something I focus on very heavily in my company as well as with my clients, repurposing. We are not looking to be creating a lot of content. A lot of content does not create clients. Good, consistent, simple, redundant content is going to create clients, okay? So here's an example of our 5 pieces of core content in my company. Number 1, we have the weekly Profitable Entrepreneur podcast that happens every Monday. That's a core piece of content. This is a huge piece of our content, is our podcast every week. We also have our weekly Wednesday live show that happens right here where you guys are at right now, right here in this free community, in this Facebook group. This is our hub, and this is pretty much where everything happens. We go live here every week. We release a podcast every week. We are building relationships here. We're in the DMs with you guys. We're launching. We have all of our free challenges here. Everything that we do in our company is in this group. We don't do a whole lot elsewhere, right? And all of our other social platforms, we use them as lead generators and organic lead generators to fill this space here, our Facebook group. So it's important that if you're going to bring people into a group, you got to be doing something with those people, right? You don't just funnel people into a group and then they just sit there. And you don't put them in there and just sell to them, right? So you want to be having a core piece of content inside your hub so that the people coming in are getting nurtured. You're building brand awareness. They're getting to understand who you are, what you do, how you can help them. And they're starting to do what I call binge on your content. The third thing is we do monthly and or quarterly 5-day live profit launch workshops. 90% of you guys that are here have either participated in this, you've heard about it, or you're here because you're waiting for the next one to happen, right? But our profit launch workshop is our 5-day live event where we spend 5 days live with you on video, and we walk you through our entire launch system that is creating an additional multiple six-figure income stream every year in our business, as well as in our clients organically. This system is insane. It is unlike anything I've ever seen. It's one of our most popular workshops. In fact, it's the only workshop we host now because it is so powerful. So we do that on a consistent, regular basis. Also, we have 3 repurposed posts that go out on all our social platforms every weekday. So that means Monday through Friday, you can expect to see 3 different types of posts go out across all Facebook things, all IG things, in our stories, all of that good stuff, right? And it's repurposed. So we're just reshuffling it across. We're not creating, 6 or 12 different pieces of content. We're taking 3, and then we are recycling them across the platforms throughout the day, every day. Okay. And then we have 2 to 3 emails that go to our list per week. These are our core pieces of content. This is literally the 5 things we do every day, every week for life in our company. It does not get much more, much easier than this, and it's no more complicated. Okay. It's literally these simple things. So you want to really make sure you have some core pieces of content that are driving people to the place that you're spending 90% of your time delivering content, building relationships, giving value, and selling. Okay. Now, all of our content connects to one another, and it drives all of our humans back to the hub. So if you're on our podcast, we're going to direct you to our Facebook group. If you're on our email list, we're going to direct you to our podcast and our Facebook group. If you're in our Facebook group, we're going to direct you to our email list and our podcast. Do you understand? So all of these 5 pieces of core content that we put out every day, every single week in our company is leading all the way back to one another and then driving them back to our hub where everything that we are doing in our company happens. So I think it's important, guys, we look at this as a Facebook funnel. So what I call this is a Facebook funnel because we're really utilizing Facebook and social media, and we have a very specific set of things that we want to see happen with these 5 core pieces of content. So naturally, it makes sense we put most of our effort in these 5 things right here in order to make that funnel come together, okay? Next, with your content should be designed to prime your audience and have them thinking about working with you. So if you're just putting content out, really, what is the point of putting content out if it is not getting your audience primed and anticipating and really excited and curious about working with you? You want to create content that gets them thinking about working with you, get them thinking about, being curious about how you might be able to help them. Your content should serve a very specific purpose. So I have a thing, we don't just put content out for the sake of putting content out. We want to make sure it delivers the specific outcome that we are looking for when we put a piece of content out on the internet in front of our potential audience, okay? So all of our content bridges their gap. Number 1, first and foremost, every piece of content that we put out, I help them recognize what's missing. I help them recognize how they could be doing things easier. I help them recognize what it is they might need next. And I help them recognize that I'm the person that has the solution to the problem that they want solved. So in every piece of content I am putting out, we are constantly bridging their gap from where they are to where they want to be and what's missing that's preventing them from getting there. So most of you are doing a lot of things, but what you're doing isn't working, right? Rather it's just working slowly, or it's not working at all, or it worked once, but it's not working anymore. Either way, if what you're doing is not working, our content is designed for our clients to help them to understand and recognize what they need next. If you're not helping your audience recognize and you're just talking at them and you're just constantly talking about yourself, your program, your things, or you're being really negative and kind of coming at people with like all the things they're doing wrong, you're probably not going to get a lot of sales, right? So our content in a very positive way helps to bridge this gap and helps them to recognize that we may have a solution to the problem that they want solved. Second, all of our content builds brand awareness. I'm going to go into this in just a second with you guys, but if you are not building brand awareness and you're not using your content to help you do that, this is a massive sales gap in the industry because like I said at the beginning, your content is like your business card. It is literally the sign over the freaking door that, hey, here's what I do. Here's how I help. Come in if you need this. And if you're not doing that, people don't know what the heck you do, why they should even give you a second of their time when they're so busy. Why should they buy from you? Why right now? Like literally, you're making it very difficult for people to buy from you. And all of our content is really showing them what's possible for them. We are sharing our experiences. We're being vulnerable. We're sharing story. We're sharing our past, our current, our future idea. We are sharing client testimonials and case studies. And we are really demonstrating and showing them that they might, whatever their circumstance may be, that, you know, whatever they might be thinking, we're showing them this is possible for you. And if you don't help people see that, you're just somebody out there, you know, kind of tooting your own horn, and you're not really backing up what you're saying. People need to understand and recognize that their situation is not unique and they're not special. Okay. And a lot of people come to me, oh, but my situation is different and I'm so special and unique and I'm not, this won't work for me because I'm this and I'm that. And that's just not true. And so I'll be the first person to tell them, listen, you're not special and unique, okay? This strategy is what it is. The system is what it is, and it will work for you. And let me show you some other clients, right? So now we're really showing them through the results we've been getting in our company as well as our clients. We're showing them that just so that they can see, oh, wait a minute, maybe it is possible for me. So in my company, I call this paint the picture of possibility. People can't just hear you talk about what you can help them do. They need to see and hear you demonstrate, show them proof that you can actually help them do this. Because most of us think that we are very unique and we have a very special situation and that a lot of what people are teaching won't work for them. And that is not the case. That's actually not true, right? So you're going to have to go a little bit deeper here with your content to show them this is possible and not just tell them it's possible, if that makes sense. Okay, and then the fourth thing, guys, all of our content is binge worthy. Okay, so in my programs, I'm always teaching my clients, simplify your content down to those core pieces, but make it those core pieces of content so good that people find themselves binging on your content. They watch a video, they watch another video, they keep doing that. They listen to a podcast and all of a sudden, you know, hours later, they're still listening to your podcast. They're binging on your content. They're opting into your stuff. They're checking out your profiles. They're adding and connecting with you. They're jumping on your email list. They're just like binging on your stuff because it's so good. It's constantly pulling them in, right? It's bridging the gap. It's building that brand awareness. It's showing them what's possible. It's building anticipation and curiosity. And what they're doing is they're really starting to binge on your content. Okay. So if you're not making content that's binge worthy, I almost dare say there's no point in creating content then, because if nobody is seeing it and no one's binging on it and nobody's spending time watching it or listening to it, then what's the point? Because your message is not getting heard. Your message is not getting out there. So there's almost no point in doing it. Right. And then all of our content is redundant. Yes, that's what I said. Redundant. Same stuff. Every day, all day, every time. So a lot of you guys are going around creating a lot of new stuff. You're constantly starting over. You're going all the way back to the beginning. Every day you're trying to keep up because you're constantly creating, either it's new content or it's a new training or it's a new offer or it's a new niche or it's a new target market or you have a new launch, you have a new, you know, set of topics you're talking about. There's just this lack of consistency, right? A lot of people say, well, I have to create new stuff. They're going to get sick of hearing the same things over and over. The problem, what I want you guys to do is shift that thought. The fact is, your people need to hear the same thing over and over. They actually don't need, and it's actually a disservice to constantly be telling them a million different things because now they're getting confused about what they need to do to get results. When in fact, it's very black and white. The strategies and steps are very simple to making money online. They're not very, there's not this big gray area. They're pretty black and white. So at the end of the day, all of our content that we put out is redundant. We put out the same type of content. We say the same thing. We talk about the same strategies. We talk about the same problems, the same outcome, the same paid program, our same launch every single month. We talk about the same things. We do the same thing over and over and over. And I promise you, after saying it a million times, your people are still not going to get sick of hearing it and they still need to hear it. How many of you have gone through your life, business or personal, where you've heard something before, right? Like I tell my people all the time, I am not saying anything you have not heard before, because the fact of the matter is you've probably heard it a billion times, but it hasn't sunk in yet. And you know it hasn't sunk in because your results have not changed, right? So I think it is really, really important that you are saying and doing the same thing. You have to come up with a system, you guys. You need a system that works. And in order to find a system that works, you have to do it and do it and do it and do it and do it over and over and over and over again. You can't keep doing different things because now we don't have a system. We don't know what's working. We don't know what's not working. So you're definitely doing it over and over. All of my content is redundant. I do not come up with anything that is not, that's, oh my God, this is totally brand new, never talked about before. Oh my God, this is a totally, our system, our process, our funnel, it's the same for like 6 years now. It's not changing, okay? It's the same thing. Yes, you tweak strategies based on the industry. Yes, right now, everyone is pivoting because of what's going on with the corona. A lot of things are pivoting and shifting, but we're not changing. We're still launching the same launch. We're still filling the same program. We're still talking about the same scalable leverage strategies. We're still teaching our methodology. That is not changing, right? Because we have a brand around it. People know us for this. This is what we talk about. And this is why people come to this space to hear this, right? And to learn about this. So if you're the person that's not being redundant because you think that you have to come up with something new to say every day, right now, I would say scratch that. I need you to come up with those core pieces of content we just talked about, and then I need you to do them redundantly. Day in, day out, same thing over and over. I promise you, we've been doing it for 6 years and not a single soul is sick of it yet. And in fact, 90% of our audience is still trying to grasp it, okay? And then all of our content is speaking to our audience in a positive way. We're not speaking at them. We're not yelling. We're not telling them the list of things they're doing wrong. We're not going down and making them feel worse. We're really talking about things in a positive way, leading with what they have accomplished and the amazing things they are doing so far and how hard they've worked to get where they are, but yet there's still this thing they want to do. And we focus very much on solutions, not problems. So I'm not wanting to sit and go down this, negative rant. I want to give you solutions. I want to give you shifts. I want to give you new perspectives, new ideas, and new tips and strategies to go off and take a different action to get a different result, right? You don't need to hear that what you're doing is not working. You don't need to hear that you're doing a million things that you don't need to do and you should just be doing these 3 things. You probably know that. You're well aware because your bank account tells you that daily. Okay, so at the end of the day, we want to focus on speaking to our audience in a positive way and just really focus on giving and providing and teaching solutions for those that want them. All right, so make your content do the heavy lifting for you. This is something I'm always teaching my profitable entrepreneur clients is if you're going to spend time creating content, come up with your 3 to 5 core pieces of content that you're going to be redundant and consistent with, and then have those pieces be an extension of your brand and help you build brand awareness, which we'll talk about in a second, and have your content do the priming and the heavy lifting for you. Have your content be the thing that's binge worthy, that gets people binging on your stuff so much they can't help but reach out to you and ask for more. They can't help but say, oh my God, I got to be in your space. I need to watch all your stuff and read and open it all. And oh my God, I need to know what it's like to work with you, right? You have to create the content that's going to do that for you so that you're not chasing people down, begging them to come in and watch your stuff and begging them to possibly come work with you, okay? And then your consistent content that converts should also, we're on step number 3, but it should also always be building brand awareness, okay? You should be always creating content that's going to help you build your brand. You want people to be aware that you exist. You want people to be aware that this is what I do, this is what I help you do, and here's the benefit for you. Here's what will come with this. You need to be creating content that is building brand awareness. Otherwise, nobody knows who you are. Nobody hears you, nobody sees you, and nobody even knows you exist, okay? You don't want to be that person. So you've got to be creating content that is always building brand awareness. So here's an example of how we do this. Number 1, our content is focused entirely on our unique methodology, the profit launch system. Now, the profit launch system isn't like all that we do, but that's what we really focus as a core piece of content, right? And I just shared that in my 5 core pieces of content. We focus almost every post that goes out, every Facebook Live I do, almost every single piece of content I put out is an extension or a piece pulled from my profit launch system. Why? Because every person who has gone through my profit launch system has walked away with a multiple 5-figure launch. Every single time people follow this system and they do it, they come back and they have an engaged Facebook group of hundreds of people that are premium clients ready to buy, anticipated, excited, and then they're filling a leveraged 12-month program and creating a multiple 6-figure income stream. So for me, I lead with this because it's one of the few things that I do. It's not the only thing, but it's that core piece of thing. It's my core methodology that I teach, that I do, that everything is focused around, that gets my clients results. So I teach a little bit of that over the course of a live 5-day workshop, right? So our content is almost entirely focused around this. I'm always talking about this. I always talk about the pieces I teach inside of this launch system. Because remember, you've got to build that brand awareness, okay? Also, all of our content is focused around the profitable entrepreneur. So in this free Facebook group, we are called the Profitable Entrepreneur Community. My 12-month signature flagship high-level, high-touch program, my hybrid program, is also the Profitable Entrepreneur. Okay, my podcast is the Profitable Entrepreneur. My core piece of content that I launched to fill that group 12-month program is the Profit Launch Workshop. So we have this profit theme and this Profitable Entrepreneur theme that's going on in my company that builds a brand. We're building a brand around that. Does that make sense? Everything we put out is about this right here. This is literally what we talk about constantly, all right? And everything that we talk about is premium. And here's the big juicy nugget, guys. This is the piece a lot of you are missing. A lot of people are coming to me right now and saying, should I lower my prices with what's going on? I feel like maybe I should be doing a service and lower my prices, even just temporary, to kind of support everything that's going on right now. And the fact of the matter is, you know, if you look around, it's okay to do sales and different things like that and, you know, run prizes and giveaways and scholarships. That's okay, but here's the thing. Your brand is everything, okay? If you are not putting out premium content, premium offers, and speaking to premium clients, then what are you attracting? You're attracting people that are not premium, meaning they don't have the money to invest right now, and even if they did, they wouldn't. They're stressing out. They're spiraling out of control right now. Their business is not number one priority for them right now. They have other things they're worried about, right? So therefore, they're not ready, nor are they in a position where they see that your offer or program is worth investing in this moment, okay? In and out of a recession, if you're attracting people that are not buying and you know they need your thing and they said they need your help, but yet they're not investing, it's because they're not a premium client. Okay, there's someone who's interested in what you do and they're really intrigued at the idea of their goals. And, you know, maybe they love your content, they want to be nice, but they're not buying your stuff. Here's the thing at the end of the day, guys. If your bank account isn't where you want it to be, you need to be attracting premium clients. You need to speak to them. You need to put an offer in front of them that's premium, and you need to slap a price point that is also premium. And that is what you need to be doing. And your content needs to reflect that. Okay, this is a huge missing piece in this industry, and it's something I'm seeing a lot right now. Charging premium, guys, it's not a disservice. It's not like you're doing a bad thing. You're not hurting anybody, right? So I want you guys to know that. Okay, and then the fourth thing, we're constantly selling. Okay, so we host live conversion events and we pull people into DM conversations. So one of the things that we're really big on in our company is two-way conversation and human connection. So less automation and more human connection, right? So in order for you guys to have a consistent stream of sales, in order to have sales coming in the door every day, in order to be launching and filling up your group and filling up your signature program, You need to be selling. So that means you need to be having regular conversion events. So conversion events are doing Facebook Lives and selling on the Facebook Lives. It's doing a 5-day launch like we teach you guys for free here in the group. Every quarter, we teach you the profit launch system, which shows you how to go do a 5-day launch so that you can fill a signature program. You need to be having more conversations. You need to be in the DMs, actually having genuine, like ping pong back and forth conversations with your community, because if all you're doing is pulling content and spitting it at them, it's not going to be enough to get those premium buyers consistently. So we are focused on selling all the time, every day, all the time, consistently in order to fill that program. And then our content is matter of fact. So everything that we teach is just, it's our methodology that we believe in, that works for us, that works for our clients, and it's what makes us unique, it's what sets us apart, and it's premium, right? It is the thing that we're doing consistently and redundantly, like we just got done telling you guys you need to be doing, right? So we're not trying to be clever and smart or markety in our content or trying to show people like, ooh, look how much we know. It's very matter of fact. Here's our system. This is what we're doing. This is how it works. This is why it works. And do you want it or not? Here's what it is. If you want the solution, we have it. If you have a problem and you're looking for the solution, this is how we can help you. And it is a matter of fact. So that is just our content. We are not trying to put out clever, special content that makes us look like good marketers. We are being very matter of fact. This is what it is. Okay. And we never create content just to create content. So you should have those 5 core pieces of content we talked about. You should have a content schedule. So it should be plugged into your calendar with these are the 3 pieces of content per day, Monday through Friday, that I'm going to put out and recycle across my social platforms. So no more kind of opening up the computer and saying, I don't know what to post today. I don't know what to talk about today. Not sure what I should put out today. You have your core pieces of content, all building that brand awareness. And those are the pieces you're putting out. Plug them into the calendar. That is your schedule. That is the content you're going to focus on, okay? So step number 2, guys, to simplify the scale is your positioning. We talked about your content. Now we're going to talk about your positioning. Number 1, you guys should be positioning your offer for big transformation. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a second, but I just want you guys to understand nobody cares about anything else other than the transformation. What am I going to get out of this? And if you can't talk about that and you don't know how to show them what that is, the chances of them buying are probably pretty slim, okay? And if they do, you're gonna have to work really hard to get them. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute, but that is step number 1. Second, your premium clients need to see that that you offer what they want. So I have a thing where it's like, sell them what they want, give them what they need. You'll hear it in the industry a lot where you want to sell the sexy thing. The sexy thing is the thing that your people think they need in order to get what they want. But you as the expert know that what they think they need is probably not what the real problem is. It's probably not the solution. It's probably your system, your methodology, your program. But if we just talk about the thing that we feel they need, even if it is true, they're not really recognizing that. They don't relate to that, which means there's a disconnect. They're probably not going to buy it. We're not going to buy something that we don't think we need. Other people can tell you all day that you need this, but if you don't believe that and you're not seeing that, then you're not going to buy it. You're going to buy it if you think it's something that you want, right? So if it's not something that they want, they're just not going to buy it no matter how good your offer is. So if you want to attract those premium clients, I want you guys to focus on sell them what they want and then give them what they need in your program. Okay? So you're going to lead your content with the things that you know your clients are saying they want. Even if it's not exactly what they need, you could give them all those pieces once they get in your program. The third thing is you have to be consistent in showing up. You got to be consistent with your offer, your methodologies or your system, the thing that you teach, and your content. If you're that person that's kind of flopping all over the place like a fish out of water, and you're kind of going all over and you got a different offer, and sometimes you show up, sometimes you don't, sometimes you email, sometimes you don't, you might post on Instagram and then maybe you don't for a month. If you're someone who's changing your strategy, your system, your niche, your target market, and you're just all over the place, being inconsistent like that is going to create an inconsistent income. And here's the thing, guys, your people will not trust you. They're not going to trust you if you're not consistent. You're not building a brand. People don't understand what you do. They're confused. You're confusing them. Guess what? They're not going to buy. A confused mind will never, ever, ever, ever buy. They will always give you an objection. So if you guys want to kind of put an end to that, you need to start by being consistent in all of the things that you're doing. Everything. Not just a couple, but everything. And then you shouldn't be trying to convince people who aren't interested to buy your stuff. I see a lot of you guys doing this. You're literally chasing down, begging, lowering your prices, negotiating with people and trying to convince people that the people that don't even want your offer. You're trying to beg people that don't even want to work with you to come work with you. You're trying to beg people and get people, like convince people who aren't interested in your service or program to buy your service or program. So you should not be trying to do that. You want to focus on the people that are already invested in what you do and people who have money and urgency. You want to be speaking to people who have money. You need to talk to people that have money and that are also investing in solutions. If you're chasing people around that don't have any money or they also don't have a urgency to solve a problem, it's like trying to get blood out of a turnip. It's not going to happen. You're working way too hard. 9 out of 10 of you are doing this. You're literally trying to convince people to buy from you. And it's people, they're not going to do it no matter what you do. Lower your price all you want. They're still not going to buy. They need to have money to invest, okay? And they need to want to invest. And they need to have an urgency to solve a problem, okay? And your solution, your offer, your program should be the solution to that problem they urgently want to solve. Otherwise, they're not giving you their money. Okay, so now we want to talk about step number 3, simplify your scale with your price point. This one's a big one, and I know a lot of you guys here in the community, you struggle with this, right? Here's the thing, no matter what way you slice it, your price attracts your people. I don't care how you guys slice and dice this. This is that matter of fact. This is that matter of fact piece of content strategy I was just telling you I always put out. This is that thing where it's not black and white. It is very matter of fact. Your price point attracts your people, right? If you put something out for $27, who do you think, if you're thinking about a newbie or if you're thinking about, someone that's more established, you're thinking about a premium client versus a non-premium client, who do you think is buying your $27 offer? Who do you think is buying your $200 offer? Who do you think is buying your little $500 offer? It's not a premium client, right? Your price is going to attract the people. Whatever price point you put on your offers is what's telling your audience the type of coach you are. Oh, she's cheap. Oh, she sells super low ticket stuff. Oh, all of her programs are so cheap and affordable. Do you want to be known as the person who's cheap and affordable? Or do you want to be known as the person who is not cheap and has a program that offers massive transformation? You have to decide what that is. There's no right or wrong, but you need to decide which lane you're in, okay? Because no matter what you guys do, this is that matter of fact. Your price point is going to attract your people. If you have a bunch of broke people in your audience, I guarantee you either your content and or your price point brought them there. Next, your price should be an energy match to the transformation and the experience to get there. So here's the thing. If you had a really shitty experience on an airplane to get to your destination, let's say Disney World, right? You bought your ticket, you got on the plane, you had a really shitty experience. It was, just the whole flight was just a mess. It was crappy. It was the worst experience. And you got to your destination. When you got to Disney World, right, you're stressed out. You're going to be all flustered, stressed out, just overwhelmed, tired, not in a good mood, right? Because the experience sucked, right? And you're going to be thinking, I don't ever want to do that again. And if I fly again, it won't be with that company like ever again. It was awful. I know people that create programs, and that's the experience that clients have. It was like pulling teeth. Like people were just like, oh, I couldn't wait till the program was over. It was just exhausting, overwhelming, scattered all over the place. I don't ever want to do it again, right? Like I don't ever want that experience again. You have to understand that the transformation you provide is one important piece, right? Because that's what people are investing in. But if you want clients to spread the word about your program and to bring their besties in and build a referral campaign, and you want your clients to invest in you over and over and over and over again, so you have a super high retention rate, guess what that means? The experience you create inside your program to get them to that transformation has to be stellar. So your price point, which is attracting the person who wants that transformation to begin with, don't attract people that don't want that transformation or they don't want to do the work to get there. You have your price point, your transformation, and the experience to that transformation. All three of those things have to be a 100% energy match. If one of these things is not in alignment with the other two things, you will feel off somewhere, or your people will feel off. Okay. If you have an amazing program that gives the best transformation and you've worked hard and invested hard to put an experience in there unlike anything else, and then you put a baby offer on it, guess what? You are not going to feel good about that. You are going to feel like you are over delivering, undercharging, and you're working way too hard to try to meet your money goals. That's an energy disconnect. All three of these things need to be an energy match. Okay. And then also, here's the other matter of fact, right? No one cares how much is included or what they're going to get or how awesome and great you are or how much education you have or, oh my God, you know all this stuff, or, oh my God, you've been in business all these years, or maybe you just started your business yesterday. No one even cares. I have never really had anyone say, how much do you know? What is your education? No one even asks me that. I don't know if I've ever been asked that. I think I maybe once or twice someone has said, oh, hey, oh, awesome. I love what you do. How long have you been in business? I've never had a client say, in order for me to invest, I need to know how long you've been in business. Nobody cares. Nobody's ever asked me that. People care about what they're going to get. That's it. When you make an investment, you want to know what you're getting, right? You want to know what you're getting. You want to know the experience. You want to know the transformation. You want to know it's going to be good. It's worth giving the money for in exchange, okay? If your people do not understand that, if you're not clear on that, you're not going to know how to tell your people about it or talk about it so that they can see it too. So then you're chasing and over delivering and trying to convince people, and they're not getting it. They just don't see what you see. Okay, step number 4 to simplify the scale is the transformation. I've been talking about it, seeding it. Now we're going to dive into it because this is the most important thing, guys. The transformation. Now, because of the whole corona, you're probably going to have to pivot just a little bit. And I said this at the beginning. It does not mean change everything. That's the last thing I want you guys doing. You're shifting and pivoting a couple of things, pretty much what we're talking about here today. You might have to pivot and shift these just a little bit in order to help your people recognize and understand why your program and why now. Okay, so you're going to need to look at the structure of your program and make sure it provides the experience and the space for that transformation you are asking people to pay for. Okay, so if they don't recognize and understand that your program is something they need to invest in right now, regardless of what's going on in the world, they're not going to buy, and you're going to have a disconnect with this, and you're not going to understand why people aren't buying this amazing program that's going to give them this outstanding transformation. And you've worked so hard to structure it that way, but nobody's buying it. They need to recognize it. I talk a lot with my clients. Everything is about your people. Nothing's about you. Sales has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is about you speaking to and with your people and helping them come to their own realizations, and they will make their investments that way. Okay? It's not about convincing, begging, negotiating, dropping your prices, lowering your price points, changing it up all the time. It is about simply standing your ground with what you do, being very clear on what your transformation is and knowing how to talk about it, and being able to help your audience 90% with your content. Okay, the rest will be in your conversations, helping your audience recognize they need your program and they need it right now. Okay, the transformation cannot be vague and it cannot be broad, and this is something I see a lot. I see this so much. People saying things like, I help you have abundant life. I help you be happy. I'm going to help you feel fulfilled. I'm going to help you have clarity, freedom, joy. I will help you have love. I will help you lose weight. I will help you be so excited in life. I will help you have confidence. The problem is nobody buys that, because what does that really mean? What does it mean? I'm going to help you. If I told you guys here today, I have an offer for you, I'm going to help you have confidence. That would not mean anything to you. You would be like, help me have confidence with what? And why do I need confidence with that? Like, it's not clear. And you're not going to even take the time to ask me what I mean, because it's just like nobody has that time. No one has time to sit around and ask you to explain better what it is you're going to help them with. Your job is to do that. You have to hone that skill and master that. That's your job. It's not your audience's job to say, can you be more specific and more clear how you can help me? Can you tell me what you mean by be confident or feel fulfilled or have freedom or joy or whatever? Like, what do you mean? No one is going to sit around unless they have, like so much time on their hands and say, can you please explain that? Either you're going to help them understand it in seconds, or you're going to lose them and they're going to go to someone who knows how to talk about it. So your transformation and how you're going to help people cannot be vague. You've got to be clear about this. And you have to know how to talk about the process and your methodology that you're going to bring people through to get them to the result, and how that's the thing missing for them. Remember earlier I said you can't just talk to people and tell them this is what you need, this is what you're missing, this is what you should do. Because no one is going to really listen to that unless they recognize that's what I'm missing, that's what I need to be doing, this is what I need to focus on. If you're the only person saying that and they're not on the same page with you, again, there's a disconnect, right? So when I'm talking to my people and I'm explaining how I can support them, they clearly within seconds understand, yes, I want this, or no, I do not. They understand, yes, I understand what you're going to help me do and what I'm going to get out of this, or no, I do not. Listen, so this is an important thing, guys. You have to know how to talk about what you're going to do, how you're going to help your clients. You don't need to go down every single step. Oh, we're going to do step 1 first, step 2. That's not what I'm saying. You need to genuinely, organically just know how to say, look, if you're this person and this is what you're going through, this is what you're struggling with, here's, you're at this place. And if you're at ABC and you want XYZ, inside of this program, here's what I'm going to help you do to get there. And then you need to be creating content and supporting them so that they recognize, oh my God, I so need that. That is exactly what I am struggling with. Your content, which is the first thing we talked about, is going to prime them to educate them on that, so that by the time you're selling to them or having a conversation with them, they are already starting to or already do recognize that's what's missing, and you provide that solution. I'm interested. Your content should be doing that, right? So all the content I put out is letting people know that if you're in a one-to-one and not a one-to-many, if you're selling one-to-one and you're not selling one-to-many, that's probably 90% of the reason that you're not making the money that you want, because you're probably being burnt out, you're maxed out, you have a capacity, you don't have the bandwidth, and one-on-one, no matter what way you slice it, this is that matter of fact, one-on-one is not scalable. It is not leverageable, no matter what way you slice it. So I'm constantly putting content out to let my people know I will help you take what you're doing in your one-on-one and put it into a one-to-many model that will give you a multiple six-figure income stream, and you won't even have to work as hard as you are right now. And you don't even have to sacrifice that intimacy you have with your one-on-one clients. Do you see what I mean there, guys? I just kind of demonstrated my content's doing that. My content is also showing them how when you create a 12-month flagship signature program that has totally exceptional experience inside it that leads them to the transformation that they want, that nobody else is doing or providing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm constantly putting content out that is doing that so that my clients understand, oh my God, that's what I want to create. That's the experience I want to have. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've been thinking about, right? I've been stuck over here doing this and it's good. I'm helping people, I'm making money, but like, oh my God, I'm burning out over here. I'm showing them, I'm just simply bridging the gap and showing them that the system, my methodology and my process inside of my program provides these things that will help you get from ABC to that XYZ inside of a nice experience. And now people are already educated on that, so that when we get to a selling point, we get to me putting out an offer, my audience, I don't need to educate them on this. They kind of already know this. They're already pretty excited about it and they want to know more. That is why the first thing we talked about today is your content, right? If you don't have those core pieces of content, you're going to work really hard to sell, because you're not putting out content that's doing the selling for you. My content does the selling for me. People that come into my space watch my content and they'll binge on some of my content, my podcasts, my lives, my bonus sessions, my workshops. They'll start binging on all my stuff. And within days or weeks, they're in my DMs. And I just watched this training. Holy cow, you were speaking, like literally taking the words out of my mouth. This is what I'm needing. Can we talk about what it looks like to work together? Or can you send me a link to your program? I got to work with you. I need this. This is what I've been looking for. My content does that for me, so that I don't have to work so hard at selling and I can just serve and show up, okay? Also, you need to have a signature program, because you can't build a brand around a 3-month one-on-one coaching program, because 3 months isn't even enough to get someone to a massive transformation. It's like the first step. It's not everything. It's not enough, right? How much do you think someone can accomplish in just a 3-month period that's going to be lifelong transformational? Not much. Okay, I've invested in every 3, 4, 6-month coaching program out there, and it's not enough space and time for that type of experience and transformation, right? That's a global impact and a global income. It just can't do that in that time frame. If it was so easy to do that in 3 months, then the whole world would not need to be doing anything. We wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. I wouldn't have to invest in year-long programs with my mentors if it was just a 3-month thing that I could do it, right? So you need a signature program or a flagship offer that you're consistently launching and selling around. You're talking about it all the time, right? Every single piece of content I put out, in some way, some shape or form, I mention my Profitable Entrepreneur program. I talk about my Profitable Entrepreneur clients. I talk about my Profit Launch workshop. I talk about my Profitable Entrepreneur podcast. Those are my core pieces of content I shared at the beginning. I'm always doing that. I'm seeding it, teasing it, and talking about it constantly in everything. I'm building brand awareness around that, right? And I'm bringing an audience in that wants more of that. They want to know this whole thing. That's why people come here, right? Because the freebies that I'm putting out are an extension of this. And so when they're coming in, they're looking for more of this information. So I'm not putting out content that's going to drive people to come into my space that are wanting a million different things. People coming in this space, they want scale. They want leverage. They want one-to-many. They want to launch. They want profits. They want team. They want all that. They want brand awareness. They want omnipresence. They want to know how to master social selling. They want to hire a team to do this. Like, that's what they want, because that's what we're teaching in our free content. So people coming in here, they want that. That's brand awareness. But if you're talking about every Tom, Dick, and Harry every day, and you don't have any consistency, and every time you put content out is something different, people are confused. They're really confused. Okay, so having a nice flagship program that you literally is open enrollment. If you have a flagship program that is open enrollment that you can put someone into anytime, guess what that means for you? You can have daily sales. You could be making money and closing sales every day, because you have a program that is your signature program, that is open enrollment, that is transformational, an outstanding experience, and all your content is constantly seeding and promoting that program and get educating people on that program and what you help them do in it. So by the time you open it up, you've got people flooding in all the time. Eventually, you'll have people in your DM saying, "Oh my God, I want to buy your program. How do I join your program?" And you'll see there's this momentum, like a snowball, that will build off this. Okay. And then the final step number 5, and then I'm going to give you guys a couple action steps. But step number 5 is the invitation. This is the selling part, guys. Okay, this is also an area that a lot of you guys struggle with, right? In your invitation, so basically inviting someone to come work with you, your big focus in your business, it really should be honing your skill set, which what I mean by that is, what is that special thing that you do? My special thing is sales, social selling, and my launch. Okay, like those are my special skill sets. Like if that was all my program was, I'd still be very successful, right? I mean, I offer other things in my program and I teach other things, but my core things is sales all around in the online space, social selling, and my profit launch system. And if that is all I taught and all I talked about and all I sold and all I did with my clients, they'd still be wildly successful, and so would I. So you need to hone in what that special skill set is that you have, that you want to start building a brand around, that you want to start creating all your content around, that you want to create your signature program around, and you want to start to bring people into that. You have to hone that skill. You got to get good at that skill, like good enough to talk about it and sell it any day, anytime, any place to anybody, right? Some people will say, oh my God, I've sold offline, but I don't know how to sell online. That's a sales gap, right? I can sell on Facebook, stories, live video, email, social posts, locally, face-to-face, online, virtually. It doesn't matter. I know my program. I can sell it to anyone that's a good fit for it in any which way. It doesn't matter if it's audio, video, live, online, offline, on any social platform. It doesn't matter. I've honed and continue to hone my skill sets, and I'm a master at selling, period. So what you guys want to do is focus in on what this is for you, kind of narrow down, niche down a little bit on this, and hone that skill. Get the, make an investment, or get the help and the support, or do the training, do the educating, talk about it more, like practice, whatever it is for you. Find a way to hone that skill set and master your sales process, master selling, talking about your offer, selling your offer, working through objections, talking about the price point, talking about the transformation. You need to become a master at that. And you have to be able to do it in all the ways, because look at what's going on right now with the whole coronavirus, right? A lot of people that sell offline are having to find out how to sell online, right? Like a lot of people are coming into the online space saying, oh my God, I've never had to get on live video and sell myself, and now we have to. So you have to really hone that skill and know how to do that, okay? The other thing is your invitation is simply that. It's just an invitation. Basically, all you're doing, okay, is you are extending an opportunity. And if you don't think it's an opportunity to work with you, that's a sales gap, right? One thing I always say to people who buy from me and come into my program is you're welcome. You're welcome that I created this amazing, beautiful space that is unlike any other, and allow you to come into my program and have an absolutely exceptional experience and transformation that nobody else is providing. You're so very welcome. If you don't feel that way about your program and your services, that's a massive value issue. That's a sales gap. You should be saying to the world, you're welcome, I put this together for you, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You're simply extending an invitation saying, listen, you have this problem, right? You've expressed you have this problem that you want solved. I have a solution inside of my program, inside of my offer, my services. I have a solution. I can actually help you solve that problem. Do you want that or not? And it's up to them. And I always tell my clients, do not rob your potential clients of their responsibility to make their own decision and respond and have a transformation. Because when you make your own decision to make an investment, that puts you at a whole new mentality. It puts a new skin, like a fire under your ass. It puts skin in the game. If I rob that for you and try to make the decision for you and beg you and convince you and kind of jump in and interrupt you, I'm robbing you of that experience, right? So my job is to say, hey, so-and-so, you've said you have this problem. I would love to help you. I have this amazing program that's going to help you do this and help you get that solution to this problem. You're at ABC, you want to be at XYZ, and my program provides XYZ. Would you like to discuss coming in and seeing how we can support you in that program to move from ABC to XYZ? Yes, no, totally up to them. We're not attached either way. If you say yes, awesome, let's get you started. If you say no, cool, keep binging on the free content, come back when you're ready. There's no attachment, right? Because you're simply extending it. I'm not pitching you, I'm not selling to you. I'm extending an invitation. It's an opportunity. And what you do with that is up to you, right? It's not up to me. It's not my job to make you say yes or no to an opportunity. That's up to you, okay? Also, you want to be doing regular conversion events. This is a non-negotiable if you are a business and you are selling. If you are in business and you have a service or program or offer that you are selling, so you are given a service or an offer in exchange for money, then you have to sell. You need to be selling every day, every week, every month, constantly, 365 days out of the year, you and or your team, but selling is non-negotiable. A business does not go weeks, months, years without selling, right? If you're running a business, you are selling every day of your life. That's your 99.999% of your job, is to show up and sell and serve every day, because selling is serving. Selling is solutions. You are simply selling the solution to people's problems they're telling you they have and want solved. I mean, it's a matter of fact type of thing. So selling is not a bad thing. Selling is solving a problem, right? You pay your dentist and you're very grateful for them. They keep your teeth healthy and the way you want them. You pay, your gynecologist to do what they need to do to keep you healthy and safe. You're very grateful for that, right? When you go to the grocery store, you expect them to have food and you expect to make a payment in exchange for that food. And you expect them to be open 365 days out of the year, because we can't go a day without eating, right? And feeding our family. Selling is serving. It is simply solving solutions, giving people the solution that they want. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a great thing. It's a good thing. It's a service. It's actually a disservice to be a business owner, rant and rave on social media about all your awesomeness and then not sell. It doesn't make any sense. A business sells 99.999% of the time. You are selling. So you need to be hosting regular conversion events that are bringing people into your signature program that we just talked about, okay? And then you want to focus on the path of least resistance. A lot of you guys are making it so hard for people to buy from you. You're literally putting them through hoops and leaps and hoops just trying to get to a yes. They're running through like 50 steps and 500 email sequences, and they're trying to like go through your content and figure out who the hell you are and what you do. And they're so confused and overwhelmed, and you're inconsistent, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I want you to focus on the path of least resistance. If you literally create those 5 core pieces of content, you show up consistently, and you do the things we're teaching you here, and then you turn around and have a signature flagship program that is a big transformational program with an amazing experience inside it, and it's open enrollment, and you're doing these conversion events that are filling that program, it's so easy for people to buy from you, right? If you're not doing that and you're all over the place, we say like a chicken with your head cut off or a fish out of water, just flopping around, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to work really, 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 really hard for people to buy from you. And the other thing is barriers. We talk about this a lot. The more steps you give people, and the more technology and automation that you put between you and your client, the more barriers you're putting for that conversion. You're going to make that conversion take longer and be super hard. We want it to be easy for your clients to buy from you. 99.9% of my sales happen in the Facebook DM. Literally, it doesn't matter the price point. 99.9% of my sales happen inside of my DMs on Facebook. I do not have to fill my calendar. I do not have to have sales consultations. I do not need to have email sequences. In fact, I don't have any. I do not need to have automation. I just have an email system. That's pretty much my automation. That's it. I don't have to have any of that stuff. I don't have to do webinars. I don't need to do funnels. I don't need to set up crazy technology. I don't need to fill my calendar so I can't, have a life and be tied to my desk all the time. I don't have to do those. 99.9% of my sales happen right inside the DMs. I could be driving around. I could be in bed, sitting in the bathtub, working. It doesn't matter where I am, right? That's where I close my sales. So you want to just meet people where they're at and make it easy for them to buy from you. If you keep putting all these barriers, you're making it really hard, and your conversion is going to take so much longer than it has to. And then selling is serving, right? You're simply putting a solution in front of someone who said they had a problem that you happen to solve, and you're going to have a financial exchange. A financial exchange is going to happen. So I'm going to give you this service in exchange for this much money, right? That's all you're doing. Selling is nothing more, nothing less than that. That is simply what you're doing, right? Your grocery store is saying, we have food on the shelves. If you want food, come buy your food. Your hair salon is saying, hey, we have these amazing people here that will do your hair any way you'd like. Come in and buy. You have your nail salon. Hey, we can do whatever you'd like with your nails. Come on in and buy, right? You have your doctor. Come on in and see me. Whenever you have a problem, come in and see me. I'll get you taken care of. So that is a service they deliver in exchange for money. Okay? You are a service in exchange for money, right? Here's your action steps, guys. I want you to write these things down and then go do these things. And then post in the Facebook group if you have any questions, if you need help, if you want feedback on anything, definitely let us know. My team and I will support you inside of the Facebook group. Number one, I want you to decide on your 3 to 5 core pieces of content that you're going to put out every week, and you're going to put them in your calendar. Or if you have team members, you can start to delegate some of this to your team. In the very beginning, the very first thing we talked about was these core pieces of content. So if you're tuning in later, definitely watch this all the way back through. Number 2, I want you to do a check-in with your positioning and your price point. And I want you to identify if they're really attracting those premium clients that we just got done talking about and are truly building that brand awareness with a clear desired transformation. So you think about your offer, think about your system, your methodology, your content you're putting out that relates and brings people to that, educates them on that. Is it clear? Is it transformational? Is it premium? Number 3, make sure that your offer is signature. So you build a brand around this, okay? It's got to be structured for that transformation. So that signature program, you're going to build a brand around it, is what you're going to get known for. It's what's going to be the bulk of your income, okay? Number 4, I want you to plug at least 6 to 8 conversion events on your calendar for the year. And I want you to plan to launch back to back to fill that signature program. You're going to do the same launch every time, guys. Make sure that you are clear on your methodologies and the steps that are the path of least resistance for that transformation. And then I want you to ask yourself, how confident and clear are you around really talking about your methodology or your system and that transformation, and how well are you able to go out and sell it, right? A lot of this stuff is going to be very clear to you by looking at your bank account, by looking at your results, by looking at the clients you have or don't have, or the type of people that you're attracting. A lot of this is going to be very clear when you sit down and really look at the bigger picture and you kind of think about these things. You will be able to know what needs to shift and change. You're going to know where you need some support and help, or where you might have to pivot and shift based on the results. Are you happy with the people in your Facebook group? Are you happy with your open and click-through rates on your email list? Are you happy with the clients that you're working with? Are you happy with the money in your bank account? Are you happy with what people are paying you when they say yes and sign up to work with you? Are you making the money you want? Are you making the impact you want? Do you love the work that you're doing day in and day out? You could do it in your sleep all day. You're excited to jump up every day and work with your clients because you love what you're doing. You ask yourself these things and it will tell you if you're on the right track or not, right? So that's that very matter-of-fact stuff. If you guys have questions, drop them in the Facebook group, ask for feedback, share your 5 steps with us. My team and I will come in and answer your questions, support you, guide you, all that good stuff, give feedback. If you have any other questions, definitely let us know. Hit us up in the DMs. I know that my team is in the DM with you. I'm in the DMs. Get in there with us if you have any additional questions. Go back and watch this all the way through, guys, and write this stuff down and start implementing it. Take the action and then come back in the group for support and feedback. I'll see you guys real soon. Have a fabulous weekend.